I did not. Do you think this has something to do with what happened?
She keeps looking at the door with a worried expression. The wind ruffles.
A peephole? Okay.
A jitter of fear and disgust moves through her body, beginning from her shoulders and ending in her hips. The cigarette tastes foul to her now.
Do you think this is somehow connected to me? Okay. Do you have any way of knowing how long it has? God. Where is it? Thank you. Shit. I don't know.
She does. She must have.
I'll be fucking covering it up with a lot of tape, that's for sure. Was there anything else back there? Honestly, I have no clue. Huh. This...
She's straight as a stick, suddenly.
Okay. I'm glad someone's had... Mm-hmm. All right.
Wow. Just wow. I hope you really enjoyed yourself up there. Had a cathartic experience. Because for the rest of us... that really sucked.
It's safe to say this is about your karaoke performance.
Good for you. I'm not letting anyone up there again. Ever. Now, what did you want? Got the 20 real?
Oh, hello, dear.
No, you don't have any new winning tactics to get the...
Goodness, how is he? Did he say why he hasn't returned yet? Oh, yes. But I am so relieved to hear that he's okay. Thank you for putting an old woman's heart at ease.
Now maybe she'll open up about those fascinating cryptids. Take her mind off all this. There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too...
Oh, I'd be delighted. Truth be told, I could really use the company too. That would be the giant of Kokonur. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast Kokonur desert. A mirage or a psychogenous luminance. No one knows for sure. It is like an awful mountain appearing. The towering luminosity of Kokonur is a bad omen in local folklore. Some say it's a fata morgana, others, fate unimaginable. That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limits of scientific law. The giant of Kokonur must be the largest animal the planet. There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can beget. Some say a gravity anomaly below the Kokonur desert might allow the creature to grow to these gargantuan sizes.
Gravity anomaly? Digging it. Digging...
Cryobacter catlensis. Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost... The bacterial colony Mijanu found had remained alive while frozen. Mijanu disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study. No doubt in hopes of prolonging her own... Yes, the bacteria had survived in the ice since... Yes, and she's quite mad, too. We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now. The gnome of Jeroma. Oh, it is. None of his victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their... It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead and a game. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard it. It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire... Alas, no. And the first... Instead, all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid.
Alas. Always alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient?
I understand your skepticism, but that's what happens with things that are rare and stand out. Their disappearance is most... What an interesting question. The call to Mama Dakwa, or thin whisper of sound. And that's precisely what it seems to be. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. It's very...
Kola Mama Dakwa can also be translated as a whisper light and low.
Yes, That's another translation. They're both quite lovely, aren't they? Although the low part is a little... Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed it could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 20s, a group of Areopagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, the scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be...
She transforms when speaking about these strange...
They realized that they had discovered a new species. They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Sequester, Time, Joscan, those are but some of the Mamadakwa they fought. That is a sad story. A group of university students assisted. They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mamadakwa.
This lady really should be a teacher. She's really good at the explaining things thing. Psst. They cancel each other out. Psst.
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, after that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere. There have been recordings of anomalies similar to those spotted in Ea, but they've been few and far between. It's impossible. What about what? Of course, dear.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony. There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached the yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it.
Huh? I don't know about that. I'm comfortable here.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up. The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the...
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
Didn't even know it was there.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
Off yourself. Make it up to me, cop. I still got my money on that.
That's an older building. It's you again. What is it? Why? You're cuckoo, cop. I'm the only man responsible for this unit. Get with it, or fuck off.
How many times must I tell you?
Yeah, fuck off!
Sounds like you're making her. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your mark.
And fuck you too, moral
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectory.
Because she was here all night.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
That's a lie. The window Clausia gave for the time of death was from 11:30.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out too. She has an operation to run from her lorry. We're not getting into what that operation is again, cop.
That's probably for the best.
And just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she...
He's been through it. That means he's suspect. All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for. You got his attention. Now don't ruin it by making weird claims. Remember, you can still mess this up.
Oh. People say there was a pinball arcade.
East Delta Pinball Arcade.
Okay, but how'd she get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. And how does she come into it? That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How?
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it? Firmly doesn't go well with coulda, but a route does not put that bullet in.
Phase 2. Murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt. In the shape of a gun. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound... But what if you miss interesting information that way? The choice is ultimately yours. But...
So
it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did it? Right. That's mighty forthcoming of you. So, let me extend you the same courtesy. She's connected.
Organized crime. Down in Jamrock, probably.
So she may have access to semi-automatics, but that's a long fucking stretch of the imagination. God damn. That's just about your...
You were warned not to bring it up. Your best shot here is to just back out of it.
Okay, cop. She's got connections. I could see how she could have access to it.
That's all you needed. Doubt.
All right, cop. Keep talking. I'll tell you when I've had enough.
T, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
Whack someone in my district? That doesn't carry much favor with Titus Hardy. She has to know that. There's no fucking leadership challenge here. Get? And I suppose you have a theory on that.
Like fuck she was.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
I didn't do it, fucker.
You probably did, though.
Fuck you, man. I would
She didn't either. She would never do that. Why aren't more...
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good. Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. A very small nod. This is the only option he cares for.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about ever since you asked me where she is. And I don't know. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However, hard. She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would. Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that. Friday afternoon, when you first arrived, I got word the RCM was in town. I told you. No, you, as in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes. Sure. You know, when I first saw you limping here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her. She said you have a funny taste in clothes. Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jam.
Fucking hell. Titus.
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it. Whack him. Or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods.
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cock, Titus, this cock. She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this.
Yeah, Al, and we won't.
She's not really,
She's not, Glenn. A little. More precisely, on the coast. Past the waterlock. She's not here, so I'm thinking.
Who's doing this looking? They're all here.
Lizzie needed some air. You're a smart cop, but you're a stupid person. No one goes to tell.
It's called a radio, you believe. The gardener may have played you a game when she stormed out. She has a...
Sure, there are some shit houses there. A cinder block town. Fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. So I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you. Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a lorry man. The what now? I have no idea.
She said she's... built...
What?
We were talking about radio equipment. She said...
This guy barely understands.
There you have it. Hail something. It'll have to.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. The dented yellow mailbox greets you with other than developing a personal relationship. You drop the white envelope in the darknet. About a week's worth of mail has collected in there. They'll empty this very soon.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my broncho. I'm fine. Fine. Now, what?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts.
What's he in trouble for? Talk?
What was so funny about?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. I'm no one. Just an... If you could call it living. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no.
She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. What happened here? It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That one didn't have a door. Sadly, nothing of great value remains here. Indeed. That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pen. The star and antlers was developed in the 6th, even today, half a century after. The star and to symbolize the toppling of also some social democrat. The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown because white is the color. Smug superiority, aesthetic musing.
Gendarmerie. You found me.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights.
It was mine. My friends use it from time to time to visit me. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting. That's why I chose this place. Trust me. That's nice, but I don't have any...
He takes another drag of... Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard.
Besides, I've got...
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
To the city. It's a beautiful night. We'll talk. Just not take care, all right?
And he's gone again. Looks like...
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason you feel this man is your superior. His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for... I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question. Yes, make it clear you're the one setting the terms here.
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. That's really all I can tell you about it.
That didn't work at all.
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires... well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story... You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here. Yes, as I said before, I'm a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. This is one...
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the moral...
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution. Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. It is the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economy, which is essential for maintaining the social... Take your daily bread, for example. Too much inflation, bread becomes... That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation, but not too far below. No. Too below is also bad. Below. The Coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency. A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information. It's the International Organization for Moralists. Hence, Moralist International. But of course. Well, do you value freedom? Do you believe in a normal, stable world governed? The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, Martinez, Rivachol is generally difficult. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking. Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer? Not boring, man. Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. What's there to say? Moreover...
Darlings, that can't be an official designation.
Because a great percentage of Rivachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-la-Clé's love for meatballs and
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur-la-Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur-la-Clé hosts the headquarters of the major Oranje's economy is one of the...
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
That's one way to put it, yes. They certainly have the power to exert influence over others, but they only do it in the name of regional stability. After all, Oranje is a moral internation, not some crazed, mesque petro-fascist state.
If he knows so much about Oranje, maybe he also knows about Oranje's mercenaries.
Whatever you wish, officer. I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
He didn't see the hanging. He saw the little show staged by the Hardys. Let him talk.
Because I did it?
He's clearly not a man accustomed to being spoken to in that manner, let alone to being accused.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
No. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this. Only that there were about 8 or 10. I couldn't make out anything. But I suspect you knew that already. I can't say I'm surprised. The fine reputation of the men and women serving in the RCM is well deserved. Oh, that's unusual. The Oraniers are not... Well, certainly one cannot rely... And, of course, any loss of life is a tragedy. So tell me, what have you learned about the victim? Alice Cortenaire? That's an interesting name. Aha! A condottiere. Yes, it's the responsibility of any good welfare state to take care of its most... They gave him a successful career. What else has your investigation uncovered? Extremely Suffice it to say,
That's because they're all a bunch of squares who like to sit around with their fingers.
that is extremely unfortunate. Yes, but rest assured, the Orangese government has committed to producing a timetable that would lay out a path to transition to a professional art. Oh, it's hard to put an exact date on it. See? That's the kind of progress that the moral intern makes possible. A great shame, yes. Colonialism is... which is why the work of the moral intern is so critical. It is our great bulwark against another... As I said, the loss of... I do hope you're able to bring his killer or killers to justice. We must show that the rule of law still applies, even in Rivachol.
Hypothetically speaking, you might add.
Well, what sort of a fugitive are we talking about here? That is corporate espionage may technically be legal in Rivachol. This fugitive must be turned over to the ICP immediately. Have you apprehended them already?
Now's your chance, sire. Which of your enemies would you most like to make trouble for?
Evrard Clare? I have. The only thing... Besides, in certain less advanced nations...
Customs? Like customs?
I'll make note of your claims in my report, but I'm sorry to say... Yes. It rather is. Well, no matter. Now, was there anything else? Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters. Sorry, who? But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you... He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes. He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps Kedra is a candidate member of a... That it's never going to happen. They enter negotiations in 21, and it's been... EPIS is a very special program developed by the moral intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified...
God, yes. Sweet standard.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the moral intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level. Why, it stands for progress and stability. Like... It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus. A supranational political... You mean Rivachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy. It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Except that candidate members never become full...
No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics. I'm just enjoying the view. We're old friends. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's very active. I'm all ears, officer. A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murder.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Let me know if you have any further questions.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez. The air suddenly feels calmer. It's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. I knew we could trust you. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner.
Was there anything else? Of course.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk drawn, no reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle it. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. This door has been closed with a padlock. The shackle A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man. Honestly, he does kind of look like you after all. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than the bust doesn't reply. The hallway behind the door is empty. The bust doesn't reply. You hear someone walking around. The walking stops abruptly.
Who is this? Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason.
Who is this?
Ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. A great force from the northeast fired into the city. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling, until it was the waves of the martyr. What didn't fall into the ocean was used. Those arches, only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12. A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad. With they massed airships further down. Many are still there to this day. If you squint, coalition warship are...
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue d'Esperance. You wait and see. I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. Sod off, pigman. Is a...
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's red-dyed heavy fuel oil is only used in government vehicles or at...
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel. Something to think about next time you're driving around. Can't you tell? I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried your hand at graffiti-o? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards. This place is severely lacking in havoc. I thought I'd mix it up. Yeah? Thanks.
She means the opposite.
I ain't no snitch, Pigstein. What do I care about some fucking tin eggs? Ugh, alright, sad piggy. I'll give you this.
Could that girl have been little Lily?
Could have been her.
There weren't any other small girls in the village.
Watch your back.